Alright, back again. Said I'd do a video about the Suzuki harmonica that I got a few weeks ago. I went ahead and broke down. I've talked about my harmonicas in the past. The harmonicas that I have right now, I've learned actually, just a quick recap. Initially, my first harmonica that I bought was a Hohner Special 20. I blew the 4-reed out on it after 6 weeks of hard practice. I haven't fixed it yet or replaced it or anything, but then to continue on learning, I was taking a series of video lessons over the internet from J.P. Allen. I went out and got a cheap blues band, in the box. It's a Hohner also. And it sufficed to do what I needed to do to get me through the video lessons. Over the course of the next few months, I went out and I bought a few other harmonicas. I bought a couple of Lee Oscars, 1910s. I've purchased a couple of Hohner Blues Harp MSs. And my most recent purchase, again, is the Suzuki Promaster. All of them have their different benefits, I guess, and quirks. The blues harps have a grittier sound to them, a richer tone, probably because they have the wood comb. As opposed to the Lee Oscars with the plastic comb. And then the Suzuki, if you play harmonica, you're probably starting out on a Special 20 or a Hohner. The blues harps and the Lee Oscars the blues harps are a little bit more advanced harmonica. So is the Suzuki, by the way. But they've all got their benefits. I like the Lee Oscars because I found that they were easier to breathe with as I was learning a lot of stuff, because I have a C. This is what I continued learning on with the C after not very long with the blues. I did the blues band maybe a month, and I went out and got a C Oscar, or a Lee Oscar in C. But I saw the Promasters, and I heard a lot about them from a lot of people. A lot of people like them, and I went ahead and I ordered one. Now, these aren't a cheap harmonica by any stretch of imagination. My dogs are playing back there. The Promaster harmonica is like a $70 to $85 harp, depending on the key, depending where you get it. And for more expensive harmonicas, Amazon and eBay are your friend. Just a helpful tip for you. I got this Suzuki Promaster off of Amazon. I can't remember what the vendor's name that was selling them. This one's in D. I got it for 40 bucks. The retail for this is $69.95. Some of the D is not a real popular. I say popular, but it isn't a key that's used a lot, like a C or a G, or even an E, I guess. Those key harmonicas are going to be a little bit more expensive on eBay, $50 range, $55. But those are the ones that are also going to run you almost 80 bucks retail. So, and that's even cheaper than the local stores here. We got Sam Ash and a Guitar Center and a couple of other places here in San Antonio that sell harmonicas. Alamo Music, I like, supporting local business and everything else, but if there's a $30 difference for a harmonica, buying it from Amazon, I'll wait a couple days and just save the 30 bucks or whatever. Anyway, this is one that has the aluminum comb. It does have a heft to it. It's not super heavy, but if you play harmonicas or own other harmonicas with the plastic or the wood comb, you can definitely tell the weight difference. But the biggest thing with this, it's real easy to breathe through, and the bending is just crazy easy. on all the lower notes. I had no problem on any of the blows or draws on any of the holes, especially in the low register, like a lot of people have with the 2 or 3 draw. No problem with that. Weirdly, it seemed to be the 8 draw that gave me the most, that gives me, on this particular harmonica, that gives me the most issues. I don't know if you can hear the higher range kind of squeal there. But that's on the 8, and I don't know if that's like just, I don't know what the deal is with that. I mean, I can get it, but I have to really make sure if I do go up to that note, or if I'm practicing the scale or whatever, that I get a good embouchure around that hole to get the right amount of air through it on a draw note. But like the bends were really, they're crazy easy. At the stop, at the right register, you get the half and the full bend or step on the bend on those. It's just crazy easy. It doesn't take hardly any effort at all. I'm not a great bender. I mean, I'm still learning. Like I said in my last video, I don't practice as much as I should, because you figure after 9 months I ought to be killing the harmonica, but I just get lazy. Anyway, but it's crazy easy on the bend. I don't know, this is the only Suzuki that I have so far. I think probably the next harmonica I get, I'll buy an E, and I'll probably get the Harmonica, which I think is the same as the Promaster, but it has a plastic instead of the aluminum comb. And I'll try it. I'll get that. It has the same reed plates and cover plates. I think they're a different color, but same base. The only difference is the comb, really. And the reeds on the Suzukis are phosphor bronze, not brass like on some of the other harmonicas. But anyway, it's a real good harmonica. I like it. It's worth the money. It really is. I suggest that you don't start off with something like this. Go for the cheaper, lower end harmonica to start off with and learn, and you can learn the bends on a harmonica that's a little harder to bend on. Like these blues harps can be a little harder. Excuse me, to get a bend on, I can do it on that. But I have an issue throwing the bends into a song as I'm doing it yet, because again, I don't practice enough. But even the Lee Oscars, which were real easy, I had trouble learning to bend on the Special 20 when I first started playing. Now, it could be a combination of me just starting playing and learning and everything else. But even as I got better with the Special 20, because the first couple of months that I was taking the lessons online and I was practicing, I was doing it every day for a good while, every day, for a couple months. That's why I blew out the reed on the Special 20 in 6 weeks. That's when when I got the Lee Oscars. I don't know if it's the cover plate design. They look a bit more open near the mouthpiece end of the harp. It was just easier to breathe through it, or what. You know, maybe the redesign. I don't know. I'm not that technical into the harmonicas right now, but the Suzuki is crazy easy to bend. It's real easy to breathe through. You can get a lot of air both ways, blowing out and drawn. But they are cost prohibitive for the beginner or somebody that doesn't have any money lying around. I've been practicing and learning now for 9 months, and I have six harmonicas, including the special 20 that doesn't, the 4 blow or draw doesn't work anymore. And I've got a couple of older honers that I found, flea markets, just because I like collecting stuff. So I started collecting old harmonicas if I see them. I got an old Standby and an old American Ace, an older one with the packaging or whatever. So I've got, I've got 9 harmonicas total in 9 months. But I only play with really 4 of them. I have an F in the blues harp, but I don't play it that much because it's a high key and it's kind of a grating pitch. So, well, that's the harmonicas anyway. If anybody has any questions, feel free to leave comments. Let me know what you think of my previous videos. I'm not doing them, like I said, I was either regularly or monthly or weekly or anything. That kind of stuff kind of went by the wayside. But as I learn things and do things, I will add and do videos to show progression. So you can go back through my earlier stuff and you can see, on the plan especially, that I have improved and gotten better with what practice I have done. So, hope you took something away from that little harmonica vid. See you next time.